I'm not, because I don't
forget what I give you.
I have the difference. Stay hydrated. Everybody.
Alrighty, can you hear me? Alrighty, it's already 6:30 and I was told we are live now, so let's go ahead and get started. Thank you guys all for coming out today and for everybody joining us online. I'm really excited to talk to you about our Thrivera program and just glad to have everybody here tonight. A little bit about myself, my name is Jake Bates. I've been in long-term care for about 18 years now. I've done everything in long-term care from direct support staff, sales, marketing, managing assisted living memory care. I've seen good and bad in long-term care. But one of the things that I've noticed in my time in long-term care is everybody really appreciates the ability to access long-term care, but there's not really anything out there that is helping folks avoid needing long-term care, which is what everybody wants when I talk to them. So Thrivera is all about that, is keeping people healthy and happy where they call home and avoiding long-term care for as long as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started today with a little video from Chris. I think some of you guys have probably already seen this before, but we want to make sure that message is out there and clear.
Hello everyone. For over 110 years,
We'll slow that down a little bit. Let's try this. Keep those ears plugged. Let's test this out.
today I'm thrilled to share with you
We're almost there. All right, Jay, you ready for a test?
Also, the creation of some new entities that will enable us to better serve our communities and expand our impact. In collaboration with Amperage Marketing, we've been focused on modernizing our organization's marketing footprint, ensuring that Western Home Communities continues to lead the way in senior living and wellness services. First, I want to emphasize an important point. The name Western Home Communities will remain exactly as it is for our Cedar Falls campus. This name carries over a century of history and tradition, and its core services and local impact will remain unchanged. As part of our vision, I'm proud to announce and launch of a new entity and brand, Thrivera. Thrivera will then serve as our wellness company and brand. And so underneath the Thrivera brand, we are going to move At Home with Western Home. It will now become Thrivera At Home. We're also going to change our therapy, which has been under the Martin Center and really thought of as in-house therapy with a little bit of external. That will become Thrivera Therapy. And then we'll also have just our overall wellness brand being Thrivera, which will really equate to Thrivera Life. And all of these other components will be underneath that. I understand that may cause some confusion about what we're really doing here. But the takeaway is Western Home Services remains the overall arching company. Underneath that, to really focus on the wellness and outreach components of what we do, and quite honestly, what's going to continue to come at us as this silver tsunami and baby boom generation comes. We've got to be nimble and be ready to take things out into the community, and quite honestly, into other communities. So that is why we're really bringing Thrivera out, to make sure people understand the difference between our Western Home Communities campus here in Cedar Falls and what we're trying to do in other locations, but even outside of our own Cedar Falls campus into Cedar Falls and the Cedar Valley. At the same time as we're coming out with these different entities and this different branding, we're really continuing our commitment to innovation, growth, and excellence to better serve our residents, but also future residents and other communities, but most importantly, to serve you. Together, we will continue to lead the way in senior living, and we look forward to the future. Thank you for being a part of our journey, and stay tuned for even more information.
All right, that pretty much covers it all that I wanted to talk about. Kidding, come on. All right, so I wanted to just kind of reiterate what Chris said there. So, these are all of our Thrivera service lines. Again, all but one of these are new, one of these is new, but our Thrivera At Home. So that was formerly our At Home with Western Home. Same great service that has been here, we just rebranded that name. Thrivera Fit, so that is all the services through the Wellness Center and the fitness team. Their services will now be Thrivera Fit. Thrivera Lifestyle, so that is our new service line that we'll be getting into and talking about today. And then Thrivera Renew, that is our salon services, our massage therapy, and salon iris, all combined into one. And then of course our Thrivera Therapy as well, so same same therapy services that you've come to know and love out here on campus, just rebranding that name and then housing everything in Thrivera. And I couldn't say all that without showing all the beautiful faces. So same great team members here, everything, same services. So just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. Nobody's changing. And just a little bit about the services that we've already been providing through those lines. So our at-home team, they served almost 300 clients last year in the Cedar Valley. So they're not just here on campus, they are out in the greater Cedar Valley serving 5 different counties. Our therapy, so they are seeing a lot of clients. You can see over 100 clients per month with the Part B therapy. Fitness center, so we have over 80 fitness members or members of the fitness center that do not even live here on campus. So we are out there in the community serving folks beyond our campus already. Our Fortified Life, we have 92 members in Fortified Life right now. And then just a little bit about the population that we're serving. The population is changing, we know that, but I like to put some figures up here to kind of show you what that looks like. Right here we're talking about Black Hawk County, and you can kind of see every age range is lowering in that demographic, so the amount of people is decreasing, except for age 65 plus. That's increased over the last 12 years by about 30%. That's alarming. That means we need to do something about that. Again, we're going to get into that a little bit later. Here's some more stats on the counties surrounding us. Oops, let me get there. So again, Black Hawk County, Bremer County, Grundy County, all seeing very similar stat changes. So at age 65 plus, that group is growing immensely. All of the other groups are declining. A little bit on a national level. We are seeing over 11,000 people turning 65 every day in the United States. The age segment of 85 plus is the fastest growing age segment in the United States right now. Coupled on that, 53% of peak boomers who will turn 65 between 24 and 2030 have less than $250,000 in savings. That is a lot of folks who are not going to be able to afford to live on our campus and access the services that we have out here. Diving into those stats a little bit more, so kind of put some demographics here. I won't go into this, but I'll let you guys kind of look at it quick. Can't read it? Okay, so just kind of real quick here. Oh my goodness, I can't hardly see it either. So this is showing people 65 plus and kind of what their savings looks like. So it's breaking it down into demographics of male, female. Average male, $224,000 in savings. Average female, $268,000 in savings. And then it kind of goes into race, ethnicity, amount of schooling, things like that. This graph here kind of shows you the evolution of what we're doing out here at Western Oak Community. So you look back 35 years ago to 1990 and kind of look at who were we serving, what were we doing with those folks that we were serving. You can see in 1990 we had 34 independent living units on campus. Today, at the end of last year, we're at 566 independent living units. Assisted living beds, 1990 was 140. There's 139 today. Nursing beds in 1990 was 68. It's 122 today. So you can see the demand and the percentages here. There is a growing demand for our independent living services here on campus, and less access as the time goes on for our skilled services, our assisted living services. What I'm trying to show you here is there's not going to be that availability for everybody. Again, currently 122 nursing beds here at Western Home Communities. That will not be enough beds to serve the community that we live in. We've already started to experience shortages in the past. I think we're doing pretty good right now, but that's something that is a little bit unpredictable. And we'll continue to see that. We're only going to have room for people in the greater community to potentially come on here that are going to be needing acute services. This is a little graph here that just kind of shows you as our level of care goes up, our consumer choices are going down. And you can see the CCRC here, that's here at Western Home Community, so Continuing Care Retirement Community, the services that we offer. But obviously just pointing out the more needs that we have, the greater care level that we live in, our choices go down. people don't want less choices. We all want more choices. We want to be where we want to be, call home. This is just a quote that we found that really kind of speaks to what we're doing with Thrivera. I'll read it here. We've been wrong about what our job in medicine is. We think our job is to ensure health and survival, but really, it is larger than that. It is to enable well-being. And well-being is about the reasons one wishes to be alive. All right, I'm going to jump into, feel free to ask questions along the way if you'd like, but I'm going to jump into our kind of what our coaches are doing with our lifestyle plan. So our coaches, a couple pictures here, Megan and Sarah, they're right over here. Hopefully you guys got to chat with them over there at their booth. They do got some fun free stuff. I'll give you an example. This is for your keychain, so it has a light on it and it has an emergency sound that you got there. If you don't need that, you can give it to your grandchildren, and your kids will love you for that. Over there is Sarah and Megan. So just a little bit about what a lifestyle coach does. So they do personalized coaching, home and wellness assessments, goal setting and support for clients. A lot of it is building relationships with folks, getting to know who they are, understanding what their wishes and wants are, and kind of adapting as things change to make sure that they're getting the correct services that they need to remain at home. Early intervention, again, identifying risks that folks have and figuring out how can we get past those red flags, or how can we at least identify them and know things that we are going to need to work on in the future to maintain being able to stay home. Advocacy and coordination. So when things do arise, how do we make sure that we're setting up services and making sure that getting home is successful, or getting the care that you need is successfully set up. And overall encouraging independence. So again, the point behind our lifestyle program, ensuring that our members are staying independent and doing everything we can to help them maintain that independence. Who is this geared for, the lifestyle plans? So I'm going to give you some examples here. It does go beyond this, of course, but so somebody who has a family that lives out of state, so you don't have those close connections here in town. Someone who's experienced the loss of a loved one or a spouse, kind of struggling with maybe what is my purpose in life now, all the other struggles that come with grief. Loss of independence. So maybe you've had some things that have happened that maybe you don't quite feel like yourself. You're not able to do the things that you used to be. And you're kind of struggling with that. Someone feeling isolated or withdrawn, not able to make those connections. Also somebody that's just focused on being proactive in their health. So this is a great option for somebody who identifies the future might not be what it is today. And I want to have somebody walk alongside with me to ensure that there's an extra set of eyes on me to ensure that independence. Or even just somebody who's experiencing challenges with daily tasks. Not quite sure how you're going to get the laundry done tomorrow. Things of that nature. So a little bit about what's included with our plans here. And believe it, everybody has some of the printouts that we have. If you don't have one, raise your hand, we'll get you one. That goes over our plans. Plan 1, actually I also want to identify too, it says up here, Plan 1 is $150. All of these plans are $25 less for anybody who lives here on campus. Some of these services are services that you're already entitled to, so we do give you a discount for that. And I'm going to go into some of the technology as we go along, but all of these plans get you connected with a personalized lifestyle coach who's going to be with you, working with you through the program. All of these plans are interchangeable, so you can go up or down a plan every month. As things change, you can also decide that you don't want to be a part of the program for any amount of time and jump back on. So it is flexible, and we will work with you to help identify what the best plan might be for you. Again, I'm going to go into the technology and things like that here in a few slides. I know a big one here for folks on campus, so you will get the Thrivera Fit Plus classes are included with all of these plans. And then you can kind of see below the units. So plans 2, 3, and 4 have different units that are available for them, and I'm going to go into that on the next slide here. Kind of went over that quick. Is there any questions?
Is that per month or per year? What is that price?
These prices are per month. Great question. Larry, do you have one?
Yeah, I mean, how do these plans fit in with the Fortified Life members?
Yeah, great question. So the question was, how do these plans fit in with the Fortified Life members? So this entire program was designed off of the success that our lifestyle coaches are having with our Fortified Life members. So from a Fortified Life members perspective, you would really look at yourself as already being in a plan too, with having access to move up into other plans. Fortified Life is the blanket of the Fortified Life program is if you do not, or if you're unable to remain safe in your home, with at-home care, that you would have the access to assisted living, nursing home care, memory care that's covered through the Fortified Life program. So this is kind of looking at like almost Fortified Life without the financial part of it, so the purchase price into it. Yeah?
What does TSO stand for?
TSO, that stands for the story of life. And I'll get into that a little bit here.
All right, I have another question.
Yeah?
So if you're not part of Fortified Life or any of these plans or whatever, you just use the pool or use the exercise room, is that going to change? Is that part of our?
No, great question. So the question was, if you're not a part of Fortified Life or you're not in one of these plans, can I still use the pool? Can I still use the fitness center? Absolutely. So that does not take away from that. The Wellness Center, everybody that's here on campus has full access to that. The only cost additional to that would be if you wanted to join any of the Fit Plus classes. And those are included in these plans. Okay, so a little bit about those units that kind of vary per plan. So all of these are geared towards things that will help people remain independent in their home. So some extra services. So transportation. This is transportation that's beyond what you guys get as residents. So that transportation to doctor's appointments, medical visits, that's included. Sorry for independent living. This would be something beyond that. So if you want transportation to go out to eat with your friends, we can add that as a unit. We can also bring in a caregiver. We can bring in housekeeping. There's also personal fitness sessions that you could use that for. Therapy copays. We know that sometimes kind of a hindrance of checking out therapy is the fact that there's a copay there. We can use units towards that. Scam education and check-ins. We have a whole program for that. If you run across any kind of scams and you need some assistance with that, you can use units towards that. Meal delivery services. You can also use your units for extra visits with your lifestyle coaches. There's some things that you're working on that you want to dig in a little bit further with. We have our managed life health. So additional devices, that is the TV over there. We have our managed life health hooked up. Again, I'm going to go into that in the technology slides. And then medication management, nutrition assessments, and skilled home bundles. So if you have a skilled care visit and you're trying to transition home, we can use units towards that. And then we just wanted to kind of put a value to what these plans have to offer, because I know probably doing some adding up and figuring out if this is right for me. So we're just gonna give the example of our plan one. So our plan one is listed at 150, 125 for residents. And you can kind of see the price breakdown there on the value. So lifestyle coach, we have at $40 per hour. That is only available with our lifestyle program, our Fortified Life as well. And then our Paxana wearable device, which again I'll get into here in a little bit, that is priced at $75 per month. That again is included in all of our plans. And then our Thrivera sponsored events and workshops. So we have a whole bunch of things planned for this year that will be included for our Thrivera members and our Fortified Life members. So you'll have full access to that at no additional cost. And then our Foundation Plus class. So that's again $30 per month if you're not on a plan, but included with the plans. Any questions why the numbers are out? Okay, so I said I would talk about the technology services. So first one I'm going to talk about is our Paxana wearable device. That is also on our technology table over here. So that is a device that you just wear on your wrist like a watch, but you don't ever have to do anything with it. It has a battery life of about a year. And what we do with that is we're tracking data for members that are using that to figure out if they are having a change in their gait speed, a change in their sleep habits, change in their activity levels. Because we know if we can get those alerts soon enough, we can get in and figure out what's going on. You know, maybe it's just a one-off or somebody's not feeling good that day. But maybe there's something bigger that's going on that if we step in soon enough, we can avoid that trip to the hospital and then all that comes with that. You also have access if family members want to check in on this too. So if you got son or daughter that's saying, Mom, Dad, you never get out and do all those things, and you know that you do, you can tell them to check your Paxana and they'll know where it is that you've been. So a lot of peace of mind for family members with that. Our TSO Life Connection tool. So this is our tool that we have all of the calendars of everything going on here at Western Home on here. It also has all of our events for Thrivera as well. You can access any of the fitness classes through here, so there's a link that you can join on, so you don't have to go to 10 different calendars and make sure that you're getting to everything. You can go right on the TSO app. That's something that's right on your phone. You can also access it on your computer as well. There's all kinds of other activities and engagement that you can use on that app. Another big piece of what we use that app for is we do an interview for anybody who is coming on to a lifestyle plan to figure out who you are, what makes you do, and figure out, you know, maybe activities, events that we're going to be hosting in the future that can really gear towards what your wants and likes are. Just as an example, we've started doing this and we found out that a lot of people here are very interested in the fine arts. We don't do a lot of fine arts out here. So that's got us thinking we need to start offering that program and things that we have planned ahead. So, any questions on our TSO app? The story of life. Another one I'm really excited about is our Zibrio. So this is a scale that you can stand on. It will give you a score, and the score equates to what your level of balance is. And then through that, we can have a whole program set up for you to help improve balance. We know balance is a big factor in falls, and we know falls are a big factor in going to the hospital. So if we can work with our members to work on that balance, keep you safe and keep you walking well, and hopefully avoid a fall that's going to result in a hospital visit. And we do have a program coming around, so on May 7th, we will be in all the buildings. We are going to offer this kind of one-time deal for free for anybody that wants to check it out. So I know those are on all the calendars. I highly encourage you to check that out. Thrivera members will have this as a continual service that will be a monthly service with their programming. Okay, and I just want to give Vicki.
Will that also be a monthly check for Fortified Life?
Yes, if you would like. We won't make anybody do anything, but yes, absolutely. Okay, I want to just give a case study example, because I know for some folks this is kind of hard for the thought of doing some early prevention things and how can this help me. So this is just one case study out of a few different ones that we have out here. So this is a resident. Her daughter lived out of state. Mom did not seem like mom. She knew something was going on. She was considering looking at assisted living to get her somewhere where somebody can help figure her out, because she's living out of state, can't reach out to mom as often as she wanted to, but just didn't have anybody in place to kind of figure out what's going on with mom. So we trialed our plan 4 with her, and got our lifestyle coach involved, got our at-home team involved, figured out her schedule was all backwards. She's staying up all night, which is okay to do, but that was not her normal. So we figured out that's not her normal. She's missing her medications for the day. She's missing her meals throughout the day. That can throw somebody off a whole 180. So we got her on plan 4. Within 3 months, she's back to normal, doing great. Isn't on a plan anymore. She's able to get back to her normal. She's engaged in the community, going out to activities. Daughter is so thankful that mom is mom again. And again, this is just one example of a person that we worked with and kind of the success that we've seen. Any questions there?
So, Jake?
Yeah.
People can sign up for a month or 2 months, and then maybe after that happens.
Yeah.
So, sign me up for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the question was, can you sign up for 1 month, 2 months? Yes, you can. So it's just on a 1 month commitment. So you can always jump off. Maybe I'll give you another example of somebody who just recently joined. The wife is wanting to do some vacations, but husband wasn't quite as able to go on those vacations. So she signed him up for a plan so she can have access and know what's going on with her husband while she's on vacation. She's only planning on doing it for the few months that she's got quite a few trips lined up, and then they're going to go off the plan, and that is perfectly fine. So again, it's kind of, you can pick and choose what's right for you. Great question. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Morgan.
Awesome, thank you, Jake. Good evening, everybody. My name is Morgan Lehman, and I am the director of Thrivera Fit. I have been with Western Home for almost 5 years. This is really exciting stuff, this Thrivera program. So I hope you're enjoying and learning a lot. And one of the things that I think is truly so neat about Thrivera is it really focuses on the whole person and different dimensions of wellness, because we know how important that is for all of us, and at different stages of your life and at different times, you need more support in areas than others. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about the wellness dimensions that Thrivera truly focuses on, and we call that the Thrive 5. So we're going to go through the physical dimension, intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual, and then I'm going to dive a little deeper into those. So the physical dimension, that's typically what people think of when they think of wellness. They think of exercise, eating right, sleep, those sort of things. And that's just that. So really we want to help people maintain their body at its optimal energy level, reducing stress, getting adequate sleep. That is huge, and I know you all know that. Seeing providers regularly, and how lucky are we to have Kirana right here on our campus that is very easy for all of us to access. Then we go into social wellness, so just really honing in on connection with each other, with neighbors, with family, with friends, and having healthy boundaries, mutual respected relationships, joining groups of similar interests. There's a lot of that happens around here very organically, and that is one thing that is truly nice to be at Western Home, part of Fortified Life, and then also the Thrivera lifestyle. Volunteering, I know a lot of you do that, and of course having fun. We have a little bit of that around here as well. Emotional wellness, strengthening resilience for all of life's changes, because as we know, no matter what stage you're in, there's going to be changes that come with that. So just being able to handle those emotions of that change in a positive way, staying aware of feelings, asking for help when needed, which can be hard sometimes, setting priorities, and then of course practicing gratitude, but also embracing grief, taking time for yourself. And then we go into spiritual wellness, pondering the purpose and meaning of life. So this is really looking at our ethics, our morals, our values, spending time in prayer, meditation, having a faith, connecting to others in an accepting community, and just kind of working together to make the world and of course where we are here a better place. And then intellectual wellness, so staying curious, stimulating mind through expanding knowledge, creativity. Think about a lot of the classes that we offer, the music, hobbies, and games. Has anybody heard of the dimensions of wellness before? Sometimes you hear of 8 or 12. We really chose to hone in on these 5. All right, we've got a little participation here. So just a little quiz, and this is just fun, and you can shout out answers or just think to yourself. But going through some things that we offer here. So attending a Thrivera Fit exercise class. Probably physical, right? Very physical. But some of you who come in person, especially to the water class, it's very social. So a lot of you know that. But let's see what else. Booking a head spa appointment at Salon Iris. Has anybody done that, by the way? Couple people? Good. I would say this is physical. I know they teach you a lot about your scalp health, so a little intellectual, but I've heard wonderful things, so go ahead and head to Salon Iris and try that. Attending a presentation to learn about new technology. So again, intellectual, I don't know, maybe a little emotional if that's hard. I know technology can be difficult sometimes. Our Fresh Wind services that we offer on Sundays here, of course, spiritual, probably social. You're seeing a lot of people you know there. Working with physical therapy, because maybe you have a knee replacement coming up or a hip replacement coming up. So a lot of dimensions covered when you think about those things as well. And really with this quiz and scenarios, the biggest thing I want you to kind of take away is a lot of the things that we offer here don't just focus on one dimension of wellness. When you go to things and participate in things, there's many things that are covered, and we know how important that is, because if one dimension of your wellness starts to fall, so for example, maybe you aren't very active, and now it's harder to leave and go to a social event with friends. That's gonna play a role in your social wellness. Then maybe you're feeling a little sad or down, and that's gonna affect your emotional. So it's just this trickle effect. So with the Thrivera program, and probably that quiz that some of you took, it really helps us evaluate where you're at, but then how can we support you in the dimensions and offer different things to kind of bring your well-being back up and where it should be. Any questions on that? Otherwise, I'm going to turn it back over to Jake. Good to see you all.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me? All right, well, I'm going to use the microphone.
Sure. What happened with that? Okay. Just want to remind everybody, if you filled out a quiz, if you could put your name on there and where you live, We are gonna get you some information regarding anything that you are showing lower scores in, to kind of help improve that. Anybody who did it via their phone, you will get an email. You should have already gotten that. If you didn't, let me know. And then again, I just want to remind people, the QR code goes to our Facebook page. Anybody who likes our page in the next week will be entered in for a drawing for a $100 gift card. And then the last thing that I want to share, if you think joining a lifestyle plan is right for you, right now is the time to do it. Right now, we are offering, if you purchase the first month, your second and third month are free. It doesn't get any better than that. That offer is only going to be good through next Wednesday. So if you think that you want to talk more, maybe you're not 100% sold, but you want to get some more information, make sure that you give me your information tonight, so that we can reach out and see if it is right for you. Again, that deal is going to be purchase the first month, the second and third month is free. It's not going to get better than that. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. Really appreciate you coming out. Oh, questions?
Is this the only place in the Cedar Valley area? Is there, or are you doing this in some of your other, they are using them to where Western Home already is? Is this in another state? How did this come together with this name and then now it's here?
It was a great question. So the question was, are we doing this anywhere else, or is anybody else doing something like this out there? Not that we've found. We've created this on our own. We've spent a lot of time and effort and energy and maybe a few yells at each other, making this the right offering to bring to Western Home. So yes, this is a Western Home only product.
But is it on other campuses?
It is not on other campuses, so we are just on our Cedar Falls campus right now, yes. Any other questions? You're making it too easy. Alrighty, feel free to check out the vendors again. Thank you, Curana, for showing up tonight. They sponsored the Fruca box. They are not a part of Thrivera, but they are great partners with us, and we love having them here. And thank you, everybody else, staff that showed up tonight and helped set up, everybody that set up here tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you for showing up.